On January 3, 1979, a duck hunter in Snohomish County, Washington, embarked on his usual hunting expedition. He had high hopes of catching some game, eager to capture a handsome number of ducks and fish. Little did he know that he would stumble upon human remains. Join us as we reveal the story of a cold murder case which was solved in 2023 after 44 years. After stumbling upon the human remains, the duck hunter immediately contacted the police, and as the officers arrived at the scene near Everett, Washington, they couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. The duck hunter's description of the grisly find was hauntingly accurate. Tangled in the fishing line were clothing items, a pair of khaki pants, a checkered shirt, and a leather shoe. Further examination revealed a human skull, ribs, and another shoe with a foot still inside. It was a horrifying sight, and the officers were left with two burning questions. Whose remains had they discovered, and what could have led to their demise? Snohomish County, the third most populous county in Washington state, is known for its relaxing small-town lifestyle and low crime rate. It boasts picturesque landscapes, miles of farmlands, and a friendly community. It seemed unimaginable that such a mysterious and unsolved case would emerge in this idyllic place. 1979 was a harsh year for Snohomish County residents, with freezing temperatures and record-breaking snowfall. But on that day, January 3, a glimmer of hope emerged as the sun rose, bringing a slight increase in temperature above freezing. People felt it was finally safe to venture out of their homes after enduring a week of bitter cold. On this hopeful day, the duck hunter arrived at the Snohomish River Delta, eager to find ducks on the western tip of North Spencer Island. His eye caught something strange tangled in the fishing net. As he inspected the scene, dread crept up his body. It was not the game he had anticipated. Instead, he had stumbled upon human remains. The investigation into the identity of the deceased began, and detectives faced a daunting task. The person had been dead for months, making it challenging to find easy answers. The remains were sent for autopsy, hoping to uncover any information that could lead to identification. Despite their efforts, the coroner's office struggled to identify the nameless man. Dental records and body examinations provided little clarity due to the passage of time. The case became a John Doe investigation, with no leads or suspicion of foul play. After waiting for 2.5 months, the nameless man was buried in a solemn grave at Cypress Memorial Park in Everett on March 15, 1979. The case seemed destined to remain unsolved, with the trail gone cold and the evidence all but forgotten. However, in 2008, hope flickered back to life when Sheriff's Detective Jim Scharf and retired Superior Court Judge Ken Causert reopened the old files that had been collecting dust for decades. They scanned the data, realizing how insufficient it was and how many leads had been lost. But they refused to give up. The detectives explored every avenue, leaving no stone unturned. They turned to forensic art, recreating the victim's face to generate new leads. They conducted DNA testing, uploaded the case to missing persons databases, and pleaded with the public for any information. Years passed, and the case remained a mystery. Finally, in 2023, a breakthrough came. With advanced DNA sequencing and genetic databases, the victim was identified as Gary Lee Haney. Born in Topeka, Kansas, Gary had a passion for music, particularly the Beatles, and was an avid piano player. He had traveled extensively with his mother and adoptive father, who was in the Air Force. Tragically, both of his parents had passed away before his remains were identified, leaving a void of unanswered questions surrounding his disappearance. However, the circumstances of his broken leg, his mysterious disappearance, and the silence of his stepfather still remained unanswered questions. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.